So I just wanted to talk about a few different things. Um just some things I thought that I should touch on that have kind of come up, and I just want to make some commentary on. And I don't think I don't know if enough s- spiritual people, so to speak, are commenting on these particular things at this time. So I hope that these four topics that I can kind of get some insight to anyone watching. Um, and I hope this resonates and is a message for anyone watching. Um, First thing I wanted to talk about is the first couple things I wanted to talk about pertain to parenthood and parenting. Peace Void Studio, what's up? So, um, first couple things again I want to talk about is parenting. The first thing I want to talk about um, to daughters um, and mothers too, but specifically to daughters um, and younger daughters too. You know, if you're a teenager watching this, but definitely if you're, younger in your 20s even, but anyone who's a daughter, and because my channel is about helping, Black women, um, mother-daughter relationships are very complicated um, for Black women in times of oppression. Um, and in some instances, um, mothers can be very jealous of daughters. When a mother's experiencing the hardship that is unfortunately average, and I don't, let me not put that on us because we're in such a new era now. And sisters, you guys can manifest your life. You can manifest, you can create, you can make the decisions. You are free to have the best life that you deserve. Um, but slavery and white supremacy has warped the minds of Black people. And that is the foundation of my brand, helping Black women, because no one else does. And no one else is really qualified to. So, mother, if you're a daughter and your younger daughter, um, to to avoid dealing with a mother, maybe particularly a Black mother, um, who may be jealous of you, or a lot of times again in the Black community with teen pregnancy, Black women getting pregnant too young, the lack of education, lack of resources, and people just having sex, like animals, which happens in low income, low class, low education, and low sexual education, and cultures where being a parent is the tradition. Um, Even if you're in poverty. When you're dealing with a teen mother or a young mother who didn't have guidance, who comes from a line of women who have been unmarried, have had bad sexual experiences, have had unfavorable sexual experiences with men, have all been single mothers. When you come from a lineage of single motherhood, um, sisters, and you come from a lineage where the women get pregnant way too young, they have no education, they have no resources, and they have no husband, and they have no community structure to 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 provide you the best life as a Black woman. You got to understand, um sometimes, your mother um is not how can I put this? Your mother should be teaching you about men. Your mother should be having intimate relate conversations with you as a daughter about men and how to deal with men. And it should be based on what she knows. And what I mean by that is every mother is not a privileged woman to get married to teach her daughter about marriage. And unfortunately, this is why a lot of Black women end up single, because the mother, because we come from slavery. We come from being slaves, not being privileged white women in a home where we can have everything that a woman is designed to have. And so now that we're not slaves anymore and everything, you know, if your mother has made bad decisions with men or comes from a lineage where she was taught to make bad decisions with men like a slave, you know, impoverished communities, you know, even so, your mother should be teaching you what she knows about men in a way that should make your life better. And furthermore, your mother should be teaching you wisdom about life. And if you are a black girl and you understand what I'm talking about, where you come from a line of single motherhood, not bad relationships with men, and your mother has this tendency to be jealous of you because while she's raising you, she's seeing you have the opportunities to do better. And unfortunately, black girls, a lot of your mothers are not teaching you how to do better than poor black women who end up in these unfavorable situations, or maybe like she did. Your mother should be teaching you how to do better. And this definitely goes for black boys with your fathers. This goes for any parents. But as my brand is about tackling the issues of blackness, younger girls, younger ladies, and younger even in your 20s, as you're still discovering who you are, your mother should be having intimate time with you and teaching you. And black girls, I'm warning you, be careful of your mother being jealous of you and hating you and not doing her job as a parent to teach you. Her job is not to just, I went to work, I provided, and be careful of your. I'm going to let you know now how you know your mother does not like you and is jealous of the your youth and your opportunity, and is jealous of you even though she's taken the responsibility of being a single mother off a lot of times, because this is not, none of these issues are ever going to happen when there's a man around. So this is specific to single motherhood and hating your daughter and abusing, and how black mothers, impoverished mothers, with, why am I saying black? It's not about our it's not a genetic inclination for a black woman to be jealous of her daughter at all. Under oppression, when there are no men in the community, it is common, in any instance, it is common for a woman to abuse other prettier, younger women that they feel men will favor, that they feel will have some favor. It is common in the absence of men for women to abuse women who they are threatened by, which the threat usually comes from youth, beauty, or anything associated with beauty and being more accepted in society or by a man. And unfortunately, we live in a society, in American society, where youth is associated with beauty, which has to do with pedophilia. But what I'm trying to say is, black girls, daughters, your mother should be teaching you wisdom. And there are some ways to know that your mother's jealous of you and she wants you to fail in life. And unfortunately, you guys have got to understand, your mothers, a lot of your times, your mothers want you to do bad. You don't understand the nature and the wickedness of a woman. And please wake up if you're a daughter. Please do not let the community and traditions convince you to love a woman who hates you and who is abusing you in the absence of your father, in the absence of a proper community, in the absence of a man in the home, in the absence of someone protecting you from her hatred and her envy of you, and her access to abuse you because she's envious of you. Because when you go out into this world, you're going to find that any woman that is envious of you, if she can get away with abusing you, she will. And and you got to learn how to deal with that. Because if you don't nip it in the bud when you're young, you will end up living a life of accepting abuse, accepting mistreatment from people, thinking it's normal, because your mother didn't love you properly because she's jealous of you. You will be too nice to wicked women. You will not check wicked women. You will associate with wicked women and think it's okay. Recognize if your mother loves you or not. And this is so especially important for black girls. Please recognize if your mother loves you or if she's abusing you or she does not love you. Because there are certain ways to know if your mother is jealous of you, and she does not really want you to do better than her. And she has the and all, and a lot of this is, it is spiritual, it is demonic possession. A lot of it, a lot of it traces back to slavery, but a lot of it is a Jezebel spirit that likes to break up families. And a lot of times your mothers can be demon possessed. There's a very popular movie about it, I think, called Mommy Dearest. I haven't really watched, I don't know. But there's a lot, that if your mother is um if you're one way to tell that your mother is jealous of you and does not like you and may be demon possessed against you as a daughter, maybe because you're a chosen daughter. And again, I have to use spiritual context, as if I'm talking as Black High Priestess, I have to use a spiritual context. And understand if your mother is demon possessed against you, as a daughter, and is part of this agenda to oppress Black women on a spiritual level. Um, if she does not want you, if she does not, if she makes you cut your hair when it's long, I don't care if it's a form of punishment or not. If she makes you cut your hair, if she does not want you to have long hair for any reason, if she does not want you to straighten your hair for any reason, if she does not want your hair to look beautiful, if she does not want your hair to grow long or be long for any reason, and if she's trying to prevent you from having the hairstyle that you want, and this deals more so specifically with length. I'm not gonna overstep my bounds and say what a mother should want. If you wanna cut your hair in a certain way or put certain colors that is against your household, or again you're still a teenager watching this, if your parents are trying to steer you in a certain way and you're trying to do some liberal crazy shit, and you're gonna make them look bad in public, and you got good parents and you have two parents. This is for angry Black mothers, single mothers with no man around to balance the punishment that she gives her daughter out of envy. If your mother, and it's going to be directly related to your mother wanting to cut your hair and prevent it from growing long and beautiful, which is one of your main three powers as a woman. Your hair as your covering, your beauty as a woman, which deals with a lot of things. It's not just how you look. It deals with your hygiene. It deals with your femininity. It deals with your etiquette. And it deals with your humility toward men. Um, you know, there's other powers that women have, and that deals with the reproductive powers that women have as well, intuition as well. But one of your main powers as a woman is your hair. And as a spiritual man, it is your hair. Remember Samson. Okay. So a woman, your hair is your covering. As an African woman, does our hair grow long, limp, and straight and thin like the European woman? No, it does not. African hair textures are very different from north, south, east, west regional. However, a Black woman, your hair is still your covering, even if you have a thick, kinky West African hair type where our hair grows thick instead of long. And it takes a little longer, and it takes a different process for our hair to grow long. It does not come out straight the way the European does, the way the recessive genetic does. That does not mean growing your hair long as a Black woman is still not important, no matter what the texture is. And you can start anywhere. You are beautiful with your hair in your natural state, but you should be growing your hair thick. You should be growing your hair long. Your hair should be a covering. And if you have hair issues and things like that, that's another issue. There's, we can talk about rosemary oil. We can talk about different things for people who may have like alopecia and certain issues. But for all intents and purposes, spiritually, your hair is your covering. And if your mother is messing with your hair and does not want you to grow your covering beautifully, as a mother should be teaching, your mother should be helping you grow your hair. She should be showing you African hairstyles, not having you get a perm, not having you wear weave and wig, and not punishing you and making you cut your hair, natural hair, for any reason. Your black mother should be teaching you black hairstyles, and that should be some intimate time that she spends teaching you how to be a successful woman in life based on what she has learned. If you, another way to know that your mother does not like you is if she if your mother is not dealing with a man and she's preventing you from having boyfriends, or having relationships. You need to be having boyfriends when you're a teenager. You need to be, and again, I can't go against what happens in your household, but I'm letting you know right now, if you have a mother and a father, you need to be dating and learning about men, marriage, how to deal with the opposite sex. If you have a mother and a father to protect you, if you come from a single mother household and you're a beautiful girl, and there's no man around to defend you, and your mother does not have a healthy relationship with a man, a healthy sexual relationship with a man, if your mother is not dating someone, if your mother's a single mother and she does not have a healthy sexual relationship with a man, and she is preventing you from dating, she does not like you, she does not want you to succeed. You need to learn about men at a young age so you don't go through a string of terrible black men like a lot of black women do, because your mother did not teach you about men and did not allow you to learn at a young age and go through trial and error and teach you how to be in a relationship. Your mother should not be trying to keep men away, keep you single. And if she should not be jealous if a guy likes you and you have the opportunity to date a good guy and to be treated right, even if you're 16, 17, 18, and you need a man to balance out whether or not you are in a good relationship or ready to date once you are past the age of 14. But if your mother she does not want to see you happy, she doesn't want you to have friends, she doesn't want you to have a guy that likes you and to learn how to be treated by a guy, if she is not teaching you about how to abstain from sex and how to wait until marriage for sex, if she does not want you to have a proper social life, and she's not with a man in some way, she does not like you. A lot of single mothers bother their daughters when their daughters become of age to date and to bloom and to be loved and blossom like a flower and be watered by society, by men, by their friends, by society. A lot of mothers, if they don't have a proper life going on, you bother your daughters. We know that you cockblock your sons from having proper girlfriends when they are teens and should be learning how to court a female without being sexual with her. Because that is a huge part of marriage. Treating your wife correctly without being entitled to sex with her. It's a huge part of a healthy marriage. A man being able to keep his dick in his pants while the woman is going through the physical pregnancy. And that should be a part of dating when you're a teenager. And if you come from a two-parent household, I'm pretty sure your parents will allow you to date because they are teaching you and training you. But a single mother, she don't know nothing. And she's probably a little crazy because she's not dealing with a man. She does not have a man to balance her hormones. She probably has other single black women around her unless she's in a church. And these churches do not defend these black girls against these wicked women at all. So if your mother is not allowing you to have a social life and she's using religion as a reason, she's using, oh, I'm struggling and I can't, and you need to make it easier on me to keep track of you. And no, 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 no. You need to grow up. And every year you need to be given more and more privileges so long as you are doing good in school. Every year of your life, you need to be given more and more and more privileges because you are growing and you are hitting puberty and you need to learn. And you don't want to. And what happens is black girls learn the hard way once they get. You struggle to get away from your mother. You stay with your miserable mother too long. She keeps you as her company because she don't know how to date and get out into the world and make friends. She makes you her whole purpose, and you end up in this Cinderella story. Get away from your mother. Get away from your single mother. It's okay to still be around your parents first, second year of college, but if you have a single black angry mother, you need to get away from her if you want to be successful in life and in love. So don't allow your mother to prevent you from having a social life because she does not have one. Your mother needs to be teaching you about men. Void says, I noticed this in my in-laws' bloodline. They can't teach because they don't know themselves. It's very hands-off approach that leads to repeat cycles, extreme lack of discernment. And in the women specifically. This is what I'm trying to warn black girls. If your mother is not teaching you about men, it's because she doesn't know. And if she doesn't know how to teach you how to be successful with men, even if it's telling you don't get pregnant at a young age like I did, even if it is telling you keep your legs closed until marriage, even if she's being a little bit more harsh with you because ended up a single mother, she should be steering you in the right way. Get your education. Don't get with a man who wants to control you. Don't There's a lot of reasons a mother ends up a single mother. It's not just poverty and dealing with impoverished black men and this and that. There's a lot of single black mothers who left and chose to leave the man for good reason. Even if she's teaching you about the bad side of men, she should also be she should not be giving you a mindset to be single. She should not be giving you a mindset to be independent, single, working the rest of your life and not deal with men. No, she should be able to teach you how to deal with good men. And if she can't offer you that, you need to find the women around you in your community that can. You need to get around the men who are fathers to girls your age and make friends with girls who have fathers so their father can set an example. Because if you deal with your single angry black mother who is not having a healthy sexual relationship with a man by the time you're a teenager, she needs to be living her life, not bothering you. Not bothering you as a teenager when it is your time to get into college, get successful, meet people, get out into the world. She should not be bothering you during your time of adolescence and growing. And she shouldn't be bothering you when you get married and have kids and bothering you. She should be having healthy sexual relationships with men. She should be having friends. She should be having a spiritual, religious, social life somehow. And hopefully she doesn't have to work too hard, but it's better than bothering you. Your mother should not be bothering you as you are growing and becoming successful and getting away from whatever bullshit that traces back to slavery most often than not. Get into communities where men marry women and women are humble, and they don't act like men because they're doing it all a lot of times by choice, or because they're dealing with such trash slave descendant pathetic worthless men, and they don't know how to be in community, and they don't know how to get into a community where men are worth a damn. Okay, get away from your single black mother. She should be dating somebody by the time you're a teenager. Cause some of these black women are so fucking traumatized they don't want to deal with men at all. But the smart ones, if the baby daddy didn't work out, she's married to the next guy within a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years. That be in the South. Not like these black women up north who want to work, do everything their fucking self, and be alone and work, you know what I'm saying, and then bother your children. She should get a man in that house to help take care of you. And a lot of these women don't know how to deal with men. And you need to get away from that. Why? Because you're going to end up a fucking lesbian and not even know why. If you don't get away from your single, bitter black mother who hates men, you'll end up a lesbian for no fucking reason. I'm not talking about no butch tomboy who liked to dress like a boy and act like a boy and was hitting on girls when you was, you know what I'm saying? Not these butch tomboys who was always dykes, who always wanted to be boys, you know. I'm talking about a beautiful black girl who's with an angry, bitter, single black mother who ain't teaching you nothing about men. Get away from that. I'm warning. That is a message for you. A lot of you have mothers that do not like you and are not teaching you how to be loved. They teaching you how to work and be bitter and be, you know, because they don't want, you know, Jezebel destroys families. And you know, your mothers, they have trauma from dealing with men. Jezebel came in and gave her this stronghold, and now she single mother. Her identity of being a single mother has warped her mind. Be careful, black girls. This is why there are good black men out here. Not a lot of them, but you have to get out of the black community to unfortunately, a lot of times, to find these good black men who would get with black women if there was more black women in the better areas. You know? But a lot of times black women end up single because you come from a line of black women who were single and didn't know nothing about good men and just didn't know how to deal with men to really be with ones who marry, who thought like men, who wanted to be men, who wanted to challenge men, who wanted to challenge the baby father, who didn't know how to be humble, who were always Jezebel demon possessed and wanted to control everything, and probably and a lot of times push the men away and have a stronghold on this single mother identity. And now she takes it out on you. It's a demonic possession. Black women, get away from the Jezebel spirit running through the black community. Powerball is their some, I don't know what you got. So the next thing I want to talk about in parenthood is fathers. And again, I want to talk to daughters about your father. This is going to be a very unpopular opinion. Your father should not be spoiling you as a daughter. Your father should not be spoiling you as a daughter. Spoiling means exactly what it means. You, as a daughter, should get proper treatment, preferential treatment, extraordinary treatment from your father. So long, and again, I'm talking to teenagers, girls growing up, you know, anyone old enough to watch this, essentially. But if you're a father and you have a younger daughter, I'm talking to you too. If you're a father watching this, if you're especially a black father in the black community, why? Because a lot of you fathers, you love having kids and you can't take care of them. You can't hold a relationship with a black woman worth shit. Black men, you are terrible at having healthy relationships with black women. You can't do it. You love having babies with black women and creating broken homes because you're trash as men, and the world knows it. You are the problem. All right? And black men who are not married to the mother and have a wife keeping your sexuality in check because you're not sexually sick, which is why the number one reason you black men are single fathers, because you're sexually sick. You're sexually deviant. You're sick. And I'm not talking about the homosexuality even. although that is part of it. I'm really talking about you sick black men, where the mother realizes how sexually sick you are, how you can't have a baby, get married, step up to the plate, be a normal man. You want to have a baby and continue to stick your dick in other women and do this. You're sexually sick. You have no regard for family, for the black woman, for motherhood, for parenthood. You've no regard for the responsibility of being a father. You just like creating babies like fucking monkeys. Not even monkeys don't even act like bonobos. You just like fucking like rabbits and creating families and families and families and feeling like a man that way and knowing you can't take care of it. The black man is sexually sick. And if you're a black man, you have a daughter instead of a wife, spoiling your daughter, it's a lot of it is pedophilia. And as a daughter, your father should not be spoiling you. Your father should not be giving you princess treatment in a way that oversteps your mother. Your father, and this will not, again, this is not going to happen where the couple is married and has a home and a family and a community. Because the marriage is the structure of that household, not the mother's sexuality and not the father's sexuality and all the sexual deviancy that happens in single mother homes and how single fathers act with their daughters. The sexual deviancy and slave syndromes where the mother fucks her son and the father fucks the daughter. No one wants to talk about the sexual deviancy of the slave syndrome in the black community. So I'm letting you know right now, this father spoiling your daughter pedophilia shit needs to end. Your daughter, you as a daughter, you need to earn the gifts and the princess treatment your father gives you. Because if your father just treats you like a princess just because you're a girl, if there's no woman, and if your father's not married to your mother and your mother is simultaneously teaching you womanhood, you learn how to get treated by a man by seeing how your father treats your mother, not how your father treats you. So if your father is spoiling you like you're his wife, treating you like a princess, as if you're his wife, as if you're his property. A lot of times it's about control. A lot of men are teaching you how to be controlled by a man, controlled by his money, because that's how he sees women, as an object. Your father should not be spoiling you. Your father should not be seeing you as a sexual object. Your father should be spoiling your mother, and you should see that. And all the gifts and the treatment you get from your father should come from the fact that you get good grades in school, that you are obedient to your mother when he's not around, that he's not hearing your mother complain about your behavior, that you dress the way your parents tell you to dress, that you stay in line with the rules that your parents set. That should be the reason you get spoiled on your birthday. That should be the reason you get all these things. That should be the reason that you get rewarded. Your father should not just simply be rewarding you because you're a girl. That's for your mother. But see, if you don't have a father and a mother in the home, and your father's a single father, and he takes you on the weekends or once a year or whatever, whenever, and he's spoiling you and treating you and trying to manipulate you into thinking he's such a good guy, when in the back of your mind he's not a good guy because he didn't marry your mother, or he couldn't get to a point to marry your mother because she felt it was better to be a single mother than to be with him because he's the sexual deviant, okay, or he's abusive. If he's spoiling you, he's trying to manipulate you into accepting bad behavior from men and accepting any type of behavior from men, so long as he gives you things, money, gifts, objects. What do you want? What do you like? Splurging on you, spending a bunch of money on you. That's not what a father should be doing with his daughter. I don't care what age you are, but especially not a young girl. That is how your father treats your mother. And if your father should be teaching you, a man should protect and provide by providing a home for your mother. He should be making sure the bills that your mother have to pay are paid. He should not be spoiling you as and you're if you're a black father, stop treating your little daughter like she's your wife. Make sure the bills in the house that you don't fucking live in are paid. When she sees that her mother, even though you're not married, is not struggling, not stressed out, not worried about anything financially, even though you're not in the home, then she's gonna know how to be treated. But you treating her like she's your wife when she's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. By the time she's 20, she's going to be fucking men for money. By the time she's 20, she's going to think it's okay to take other women's men. She's going to think it's cute to go around and take whatever she wants because you taught her just because she's a girl, she can have the world without consequence. Stop spoiling your daughter. These are the women that grow up to destroy homes because she wants another woman's man, because you taught her she can have whatever she wants just because she's a girl. But if you have a wife, your wife is going to check your sexual behavior, and she's going to teach the woman that you can't have whatever you want and there are consequences in this world. So if you're a single father and you're hanging out with the daughter that you don't live with because you didn't marry the mother because you're trash, okay? Stop treating her like she's your wife or your girlfriend or your fuck buddy or your mistress. Teach her discipline, make her earn things, teach her how a man should treat her. Well, you don't know because you don't know how to be a man in the home. But for God's sake, stop molesting your daughter. Stop teaching her prostitution. Stop teaching her to that just being a woman is all she needs to be to get things. Teach her the importance of getting educated. Teach her how to be smarter than these men out here who are gonna try to manipulate her because she's a girl. Teach her how to keep good company. Teach her how to keep company better than her mother. If the mother was the problem and pushed you away and you're a good guy or whatever, and you're a good guy, which means you're now remarried, you know, to a good woman, okay? Because you're a good guy. Not a single father out here still fucking whatever you want and sexualizing your daughter, you know, and playing around out here with women, right? You know, stop spoiling your daughters, men. You're making the world a terrible fucking place. Stop spoiling your daughters. Stop creating women out here who like to go and take from other women and manipulate men and take just because they're women. And who cause discord everywhere, who gossip and do whatever they want because they never understood consequences. They think being a woman is all they need to be able to get away with murder. Stop spoiling your daughters. Your daughter needs to earn so she understands womanhood, not wickedness that these women do just because they're women and they are always around weak men, sexually weak men who will do anything for sex, who will pay anything for sex, who will have sex with anything because they like objectifying women. And if you're if you're a girl, a daughter, older, and you have a father who's still not married, still out, and still out here having sex to and fro, playing around with women, treating them like trash, not making a commitment to one woman. If your father's sexually deviant and there's something wrong with him sexually, and he can't maintain a healthy relationship with one Black woman. Okay? Be be careful of these manipulative fathers who sexualize you, ladies. Do not do not over sexualize yourself out here. Do not be bought. Okay? Do not let men buy you. Do not let men come into your life with shitty personalities, sexual deviancy, inability to control their sexual urges, their sexual appetite, no experience from coming from a home with two parents. All right? Come from a line of men who were never married and had a bunch of kids by a bunch of different women. Do not be bought by a player. Do not let men flash money, flash objects, flash what he has at the moment and convince you that he has this, that, and the third. And he has a terrible personality. He's a womanizer and a narcissist. Don't get caught up with a man like that over some goddamn money and end up a single mother raising a daughter that you hate because the father is spoiling her the way he spoiled and manipulated you to be his single mother. All right? I want you, the girls who are younger but old enough to be watching this, I want you to understand something about fathers spoiling you. A lot of times your father is spoiling you because he wants to try to make your mother jealous because your mother left him because he's sexually deviant and was unsafe to have in the home, was unsafe to marry. And she would rather raise you alone. And your father is spoiling you to try to make your mother jealous, to try to make your mother feel like she made a mistake. He's treating you like a girlfriend. He's treating you like a rebound mistress woman that he would get and spoil to try to make the woman who left him feel like she made a mistake. All right? Your father should not be sexualizing you to try to make your mother jealous because she left his sexually pedophile deviant ass and raised you alone and is probably doing a good job of it. I'm warning you. Clock it. Your father is spoiling you to get back at your mother. And I hope and if your mother starts treating you mean and everything, it's working. Don't let your father cause discord between you and your mother. Be smart, Black young girls. Don't let your sexually deviant father, who cannot maintain a relationship with one woman, who does not know how to love a Black woman, all right? Don't let him cause discord between you and your mother. Take whatever gifts he gives you and give it to your mother. Because that's who deserves it. I'm warning you. Stop letting your single father treat you like a girlfriend or a wife. He should be teaching you how to find a man better than him. Otherwise, he don't love you either. He should be making sure the bills are paid, making sure your school expenses are paid, making sure you have college tuition, not buying you things and stuff. Things and stuff should be rewards for you getting good grades. If your father loves you, he'll make sure you don't have to pay for college. All that other shit is fuckery to make your mother jealous. Clock it, you've been warned. Two-time entertainment 777 says, a wife and daughter are two different things. I really don't get your point. See you later. Sounds like he probably has a pedophile relationship with his daughter. All men are not like whoever you know. That's an abomination in the Bible. Yeah, you guys, this comment is a perfect example of a man in denial about how he's sexualizing his daughter. He's probably not married, and a lot of these, this is what I'm saying. Everything I'm saying is specific to single parents because men and women that know how to get married and have kids are sane. These Black slave syndrome niggas, in poverty who end up single parents, there's no structure there. The woman is going to act sexually crazy and deviant, and the father, the single father, is going to act sexually crazy and deviant, all with the daughter. The boys are not going to suffer and be abused, other than he's going to grow up to be worthless piece of nothing shit. He's going to grow up to be nothing, but his mother's going to love him. You know what I'm saying? His father's, you probably have a terrible relationship with your father if he's not in the home, but you have a great relationship with your mother, you know, and you'll grow up to be worthless to any other woman but your mother. But you're not going to end up with psychological issues like the black girls are going to, because your mother and your father are abusing you because you're the daughter. That's when a man has made a commitment to a woman through marriage. That I'm not talking to children from a product of a who come from the sperm of a man who knew how to love one black woman. All right, you're far superior to what I'm talking about. Far superior to what I'm talking about. I'm specifically talking about single parents. I'm not talking about the sperm of men, the offspring of men who had the gonads to love and commit to one black woman and love her properly and created kids who learned that form of love. You know? Sounds like a lawsuit if you can't prove this in court. You see how he's extra concerned about what I'm saying when I'm talking to people who this applies to. So your comments let me know one thing only. This definitely applies to you. Otherwise, you would have been on somebody else's channel by now if it didn't. And if you weren't learning a thing or two, and if you weren't getting convicted right now spiritually, because that's the spiritual court of law that you're in with me. Because you don't know me either. You know, justice goes both ways. You don't know me either. So this is what I'm saying. When people are getting convicted and they're getting involved, and this message is for who the message is for. And I can guarantee you, two-parent households where the father loves the mother, has been married to the mother, doesn't cheat on the mother, I can guarantee you children who are offspring of that household that's not going to apply to you. I can guarantee you learned how to be loved at a young age, and probably most likely started a healthy family as a result, or at least are doing more successful, and you know, didn't end up a single parent because you were looking for love in the wrong places instead of getting education. People hate us right now. Help our people. No idea if yeah, again, I'm glad that you've gotten convicted. I'm glad this applied to you enough for you to feel the need to comment. But at this time, I'm going to move on to something that might also apply to you, since you seem like a sexual deviant who needs to hear this. Um, the next thing I want to talk about is the next thing I really want to talk about is the gym. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Women wearing skin tight leggings to the gym, it is trashy. It is trashy. Wearing something that makes you look like you're naked, where you can see any crack, any curve, any camel toe, it's trashy. It's thirst trapping, it's trashy. It looks like exactly what it looks like. You look like exactly what you're trying to look like. Somebody who's trying to get a man to have sex with her. You look like a desperate whore. Like a desperate whore. And a lot of you don't look poor, so you don't necessarily look like you're selling it. A lot of you look like you're desperate to get fucked. And that's come rape me energy. And that's what it looks like. And you're not going to attract a man who has any dignity, self-respect, or sexual self-control. You're not. please, ladies, especially you ones who are on your weight loss journey and you find the most tall, dark, handsome, buff man, usually a black man, to be your personal trainer, and you come with the tightest leggings and the tightest stuff that you can find while you're personal training, I want to let you women know these men, they're posting you on Instagram, they're posting you on their page to get more women to come train with them. While you guys are wearing stuff that makes you look naked, while you're trying to thirst trap and trying to get men to have sex with you at the gym with your attire, and you're acting like you're in a weight loss journey, you know. These men are posting you on Instagram. They're showing you flirting with them. They're showing you they're posting the things that you say. They're recording you at the gym. They're posted on their page. They're using it to get more clientele. They're using it to get more viewers as influencers. They're these personal trainers that look sexy, and a lot of times are these black guys that you guys go to, you know what I'm saying, when you want to get on your little weight loss journey, or you want to do whatever, you know what I'm saying. And sometimes you're not really super overweight or whatever, you're just thick and trying to get attention from the next black dude you want to fuck, because you got a lot of y'all get dickmatized. You get you and you non-black women, you go black, you thirst trap black men, you get black men, you get black dick, then he acts like a black man on you, and he's not a good man, and he leaves you or whatever, and now you're constantly on the thirst for more black dick. Y'all be black snake moaned out here, and you look like it at the gym. And these men, they're using you for their benefit, and they will fuck you and still treat you like trash. And they will fuck the next student after you, and you'll be looking for the next black dick, and you'll be wearing even tighter, more sluttier clothes at the next gym. Stop the Jezebel slutty behavior. Stop letting the Jezebel spirit demon possess you to where you have no sexual self-control, and you're going out into the world intentionally looking naked, inviting black men to rape you, because that's what y'all are doing it for, especially the white women. No white woman is looking for a respectable white man acting like a slut. You guys doing this because you got dicked out by black men who are no longer with you, and now you're thirsty for a more black dick. Black women, I'm talking to you too. Stop dealing with these black sexually deviant men out here, and now you go into the gym, but you really just you're just looking for more sex. You're looking for more, and you look like it. And you're not fooling anyone. These men will fuck you and act like it was nothing, and fuck the next student that comes in thirsty. These personal trainers will use you any type of way. You guys have got to have some respect for yourself. Stop getting out here having promiscuous sex with these hateful black men who have no respect for women, who enjoy just collecting women and sucking energy from women, taking desperate women energy, the incubus and succubus, you know what I'm saying? And now you're just going to the gym looking for some pheromones in the air. The gym is for working out. It is not for horny women who have been left wide open, who have been left completely unsatisfied. It's not for horny women who threw themselves usually at some black dude and got dick down, and now you're thirsty for more black dick, and or not for you horny women who are promiscuous and you deal with men that don't like you and you're left wide open and unsatisfied and you're looking for any type of sex now because because you don't control your sex, women. Because these men will fuck you and they'll leave you wide open. They don't care about your pleasure. You are prostituting yourself for free. I can't even call you a whore because you're not smart enough to make no one pay for it. You don't even have enough self-worth to make someone pay for it. You're going to the gym naked, leaving nothing to the imagination. And if you go around like that, you will fuck them. You'll probably fuck them in the bathroom. That's how horny you guys are. You have got to be that horny to go around the world naked. Naked. That you want to get raped. You know why? Because you were raped. You were raped of your dignity. You were raped of your self-respect. You were raped of your sexual self-control when you gave yourself to a man who could care less about your pleasure, less about your feelings, less about you feeling safe. You were nothing to him. And now you go out into the world looking like it. Stop looking like you all got raped and you're desperate to get raped again because your hormones are out of fucking control. You want to deal with black men and get black dick and be sexual with sexually deviant men who will sleep with all you foreign women who have a lot to prove, who are so fucking horny that you're not even wise and smart and have enough dignity to make someone pay for it. He will fuck you. And the next one, and you will get fucked by a whole state, a whole region full of personal trainers, and you get passed around. Stop going to the gym naked, looking naked. Wear something that looks like an athletic outfit. Wear something that looks athletic. You don't have to wear something that looks like it's your skin. Just because they make it doesn't mean you have to buy it. If you're going to the gym, if you're trying to eat healthy, do you buy any old thing? Do you buy stuff with extra food coloring and put it in your body? Do you buy junk food and stuff just because they make it? You don't have to wear slutty clothes just because they made it. And you're paying expensive for it to look like you can't wait for a bunch of men to rape you. And you know what the tragedy is? A lot of men at the gym, they're not checking for you. You go there horny, desperate, and you look like it, and you don't even get nothing out of it. The men ain't there for you. They're really trying to bodybuild. And I gotta tell you women something about men. Most men have a woman. Most men are married, and most men have a woman if they're not married. It is very rare for a man to not have something to stick his dick in whenever he feels like it. It is very rare. That's why these men aren't coming at you. You have got to be really, really, really something that piques his interest for him to have to take you on into his roster when he already got a wife and a side chick and this and that, or already got a baby mama, 3 side chicks, someone he's already dating. Now you got to be something real special for him to take you into his roster. None of these men are actually single. So stop throwing yourself at men in general. If you're not on a college campus, none of those men are single. You get me? Every man over the age of 22 has something to stick his dick in. The only way you're going to find a man who is single and not having sex with some woman, to where he's actually going to come holler at you, is if he's recently divorced or if he's really Christian, really a Christian in a community. Every other man already has a woman. Stop throwing yourself at men. Go work on yourself. And if you want a man Go on a dating app. Go on a speed dating. Go where men are single and also looking for women. Go to environments that is designed for men and women to hook up. Stop going to the gym that is designed for health and wellness. Just because every other woman is there acting like a slut doesn't mean you do it. Are you getting a BBL? Because every other woman is doing it to thirst. You stop doing what every other woman does. All of you look bad. Wear something appropriate to the gym. Stop wearing leggings. Stop wearing panties. Calling it boy shorts. Stop wearing skin tight stripper outfits, calling it leggings. Wear something appropriate. You don't need your nipples getting hard showing. You don't need stuff sticking up your ass. You don't need to wear something where you're gonna have to pull a wedgie out once you're done using a machine. Once you're done doing a workout, wear some loose shorts, something that breathes, something that is appropriate for you moving your body. Stop wearing stuff that has to pull a wedgie out. It's disgusting how no dignity. What is with you women when you go to the gym and you just become desperate to get raped? What is wrong with y'all? I don't get it. I don't get it. Dress appropriately at the gym because I'm telling you, these men will dog you. They will treat you exactly how you're fucking dressed. And it will be the black ones that most of y'all is trying to get attention from anyway. It will be them. They'll come, they'll dog you, and they'll be right at the gym the next day in another blonde white girl's face who's doing the same thing you did the night before. Play stupid games, win stupid fucking prizes. E&T says, I agree. Probably not agreeing with me, but I don't know. Let me go back. If that's happened to you, I pray for your healing, but please do better for our community. You don't fucking know me. Shut the fuck up. People who do that are lost, and I hope they find themselves, human commenting says. And this is why I'm sending these messages. These are just 4 topics that was irking, that I was like, all right, I have to go live, and hopefully somebody receives these 4 messages that Spirit wanted me to go live about. Holy Spirit. Lou says self-control, no discipline. The gym is all about self-control and discipline. The gym is all about self-control and discipline. So how are you showing self-control and discipline when you're there trying to get fucked? And furthermore, just trying to get straight up gang raped. That's how y'all are dressing. Like y'all was left completely wide open and you don't know nothing else. Stop acting like rape victims in the gym. Get it together. Because y'all are all in there because it's a man. And it's in the air. You're in there trying to get back at a man. You're in there trying to impress a man. You're in there trying to snag a man. You're in there trying to fuck someone else's man. You're in there trying to get your ex back. Everyone knows y'all are all in there for a man. The only women who ain't in there for a man are the women who are athletes, who are actual athletes on an athletic team, who do sport for a living, who are actually dancers for a living, models for a living, who use their physical body for a living, including strippers and including exotic dancers, including escorts who give a damn about their clientele. All right. You know what I'm saying? And the women who are in there with their husbands, working out together with their husbands. Everyone else, every other thirsty bitch in there with leggings, looking naked. We all know why you're there. Have dignity. Because other women are sick of seeing it. Because if we try to say something to you, you're going to cop a fucking attitude. We know why. Why you're going to cop an attitude? Because you've been getting dicked down by black men. And now you're going to have the angry black male syndrome. And you're going to start acting like angry black women because you want to get dicked down by black men. That's why you're going to cop an attitude if someone tries to steer you in the right direction when you out here demon possessed. Respect my OG-ness, says absolutely. Being with someone who cares for you and you care for them is a beautiful thing. It's it is something that is so beautiful that I'm gonna move on to the next topic that I wanted to say after this. But let me just read your guys' comments. It said one night stands aren't soulless. No, not always. I'm specifically talking about this gym, the Jezebel spirit, the demon, the sexual demonic energy, the incubus succubus energy in the gym, the thirst trapping spirit, the sexual spirit in the gym. I'm not talking about grown adults who can do what you want. I'm not advocating one night stands. I'm advocating having healthy relationships. But if you want to sleep with someone you just met and never talk to them again, and or maybe just be friends and then sleep with someone else, cool. And if you don't think that is soulless, keep doing it. Fuck around and find out. There's no way I would advocate one night stands. I advocate dating someone, getting to know someone, building intimacy with someone to where you feel safe sharing the most important thing that you have to offer with that person. But I suggest you do it after you make a vow and a covenant before a bunch of people and God. That's my suggestion. Lou said it got darker, pretty woman. It is getting darker. The sun is going down. GC2 time ENT 777. We gonna fight. I'm just gonna say that. We gonna fight. But I really hope that you're getting the message. That's all. I from the bottom of my heart, and I'm not gonna read the comments because I just don't care. I know you're getting the message. I hope you're getting the message. You don't know me. I don't know you, but I feel like you're trying to get to know me. And like I said, I know this is resonating. But sometimes but what happens when I'm doing exorcisms, when I'm helping people get the parasites out of them through health and wellness, getting the demons, the unclean spirits out of them, which is a form of it's a spiritual parasite. When I'm helping, there's always going to be resistance. So I have to forget that I'm really probably not talking to you. I'm probably talking to whatever demon has a hold on you that is trying to cause conflict when you are in alignment, but you got blockages and you need to receive this. And this is you people, you got to understand sometimes you're not always talking to flesh and blood. I go live out of courtesy. I have other things that I could and want to be doing. I definitely had other things that I could and wanted to be doing. I went live because I don't work for you. All right? So you talking too much, you writing a lot and everything, and you need to just be listening and accepting it. But I get that you're probably one of the reasons I went live, and I get that that demon in you is trying to cause and stir conflict. Cut the confusion. This shit is loud and fucking clear. And I said what the fuck I said. I said that your mothers should be teaching your daughters, black mothers, single black mothers have a tendency to become jealous. Your mother should be teaching you stuff, and black daughters need to get away from your single black mother if you want a successful, healthy relationship with a good black man. I said what I said. They said what they said. Black men need to stop with the pedophilia of your black daughters. Stop using your daughter to make the mother jealous when she was smart enough to leave your sexually deviant ass. Stop treating your daughters like she's your wife, your girlfriend, or your mistress. Stop spoiling your daughters in general and train her in womanhood. And show her how to be a good woman, and show her how to receive treatment from a man by how you treat her mother. Stop treating her like like you can control the mother by controlling the daughter. I said what I said. Men, the single fathers spoil the daughters to make the mother jealous. And half the time it works. And what you do is you cause discord in the home because now the mother is jealous and she's abusing her daughter. It has been spoken. And I said what I said. You look like a slut when you wear tight leggings at the gym. It is inappropriate for the gym. Wear loose shorts that let you breathe. Wear a material that lets your skin breathe and sweat. You don't need to look like you're scuba fucking diving in the gym. What sense does it make if you're going there to actually work out instead of getting some thirsty, sexually deviant black man to fuck you in the bathroom? Does it make to wear skin tight stuff when you're finna be drenched in sweat? Wear something that breathes. Don't wear something that's going to show your nipples, show your camel toe, and make people look at you like you're naked. It makes everyone uncomfortable. And you will get fucked and passed around. You will get exactly what you're asking for. And a whole lot more. So, I said what I said. Said what I said. Boo Man says, am I okay? I will be after I make one more point, and then I can finish this show that I want to finish on Netflix. It's called El Accidente. It's pretty decent. My last point. If you are single, and especially if you are a single black woman, what do I mean by that? If you're oppressed, if you are a more oppressed demographic, you're black, you're oppressed. You're also a woman, you're oppressed. You're also single. So you don't have family, community. You're not in an environment where there's a proper mate for you. That's the only reason you're single. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. If you're not actively celibate, the only reason you're single while you're being a black woman in America is because you're in an environment where there's not a proper mate for you. You're probably a little different. You probably maybe have some trauma to overcome. You probably dealt with the wrong men. But if you are, again, if you're, let's say if you're like if you're over the age of 30, 35, in this economy, more people are single because things have just gotten crazy over the past 10 years with artificial intelligence and everything. It's gotten, so my point in talking about being a single black woman and is the oppression aspect. If you are a single black woman, if you come from any form of oppression, this goes for single black men too. But I'm talking about the more layers of oppression you have. If you're considered a brown woman, you're oppressed. If you're a woman, you know what I'm saying, you're oppressed. And I hate to. I'm not saying that rich white men who are married with families are not oppressed, but when it comes to pastors, when it comes to the church and people who have religious authority, pastors, the church leaders, whatever they're called, bishops, the preacher, when it comes to these ordained ministers, especially if you're online or if you are in a church, but a lot of people are online getting the word from online. If you are a single person, if you're a woman, if you're oppressed, you need to listen to Christians preaching who are also single. Maybe who are a little younger, you need to listen to Christians who are single women. Maybe women who are even divorced. You need to listen to Christians who are reformed drug addicts, who are ex-convicts. You need to listen to Christians who have been through divorce, come from broken homes. All of these chiseled, nice looking, nice jawline structured, full head of hair, rich, elite looking white men, all these chiseled, good looking, bearded men, black men, white men, brown men. You notice how all these Christian pastors, they be chiseled, nice head of hair, and or they're bald, they're handsome, they're fit, they're good looking, and they're always bragging, talking about their wife, their family, my children, my son, my daughter, my wife, my family, my children, my job, my God, if you're really oppressed, if you really are struggling, if God did not bless you with family, if God did not give you a good, nice, chiseled jawbone and wealth to become a spiritual ordained minister of a community and have this authority, and you are so well spoken as a white guy, or these charismatic black men, and your son, your daughter, everything is perfect with these motherfuckers. And I promise you, none of these good looking pastors who have wives who have been married, are 11 years of marriage. We've been married 7 years, 25 years, 35 years of marriage. I've been married to my wife 50 years. My son, my daughter, my grandson, my grandkids, this, my wife, my car, my family, my house, my kids. That's all you hear from these fucking pastors. Just listen. Have you ever listened to them? I'm not talking about you other married people who are just listening to your reflection and being like, yeah, we're good Christians. Look at this guy who's just like me, married with a house and a good job, or no job because he's, making money being a pastor and has a wife and family. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people who have the least fucking right to be in the pulpit teaching to people about struggle and oppression and suffering. The people out here who have the least right to open their motherfucking mouth about suffering are always the ordained. It's like, the pulpit is not the presidency where you're required to be 45, married, and a war vet. That's not what that's not, the New Testament definitely had requirements for ordained ministers. But as we are reaching the last days, some of these guys have no fucking clue who their audience is. These pastors have no clue how to connect to real suffering people. And if you're a single black woman with no good men in sight, and you come from a trash fucking race, and you're looking at probably being single like a lot of black women in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, single or divorced or something, you know what I'm saying? If you're a black woman over 60, you came from an era where you had good men. There were black men married black women. If you're over 60, you came from an era. If you're over 60, if you're over 70, if you right now in 2025 are over the age of 70, you came from an era where black men married black women and started black families. If you're any younger than that, black men ain't been doing nothing but fucking white women, making them black snake moan and leaving black women for fucking dead. Okay? But if you're 70 or older, you can't really say that. Black men was marrying black women back then, starting families. You probably been with your husband. You probably had a husband for 50 years and just got divorced. So you know what I'm saying, some shit like that. But if you're like younger than 65 and you're a single black woman, yeah, it's because we're actually oppressed. We're suffering the shit from the Bible. Not these chiseled looking past. Why do they always look so fucking chiseled? Why do they always got nice hair, clean cut? Watch it. They always look good. They always look like the best men in the world. And they always talk about their wife, they can't possibly fathom. They can't possibly fathom. And I hate to say it like that, because what I'm trying to say is this. If you're listening to someone who's talking about God, preaching you about God, who's trying to encourage you as a Christian and preach about God, you should not know his or her sexual relationship status. But these pastors always, my family, my wife, my son, my daughter, my grandkids, my house, my farm, my family, my community, my friends, our dinner this outing that, our vacation this. You know what I'm saying? That's all the fuck they talk about. But if you are actually struggling, if you're actually oppressed, if you're single, if you don't have all the things that rich people have, you need to listen to an ex-convict talk about how they found Christ. You need to listen to a chick who stopped her OnlyFans account and saved herself through Christ. You need to listen to Doreen Virtual whatever, who had all the tarot decks and everything, and she gave it all up and has been encouraging her followers to follow Christ for the past at least 7 years, if not more than that. You need to listen to ex-witches, ex-Satanists. You need to stop listening to these pastors who have a wife, a family, of kids, and a house. Nobody has that shit in 2025 except the people that do. Don't listen to them talk about God if you're not also some family man, some rich family man who has a house, my car, my family, my job, my kids, my grandkids. If you have all of that shit, you're part of a community. And you need to really, really, really either put a cap on it if you're going to try to reach an audience, or you need to be in that community and stay privileged. But when it comes to God, these pastors don't know their audience. They think that they're talking to other people who have had such privileges to be such good people in their life and who look so good and chiseled and nice hair, great kids, can afford a watch, look, you know what I'm saying? Talk to somebody who survived cancer through believing in Christ, who healed their body, who had miracles happen to them. Talk to listen to homeless people's how Christ. Listen to people who have struggled. And stop. And honestly, stop. Don't. If you're not married with kids, don't listen to no pastor who is married with kids. And you'll know they're married with kids. They can't wait to brag about it. You should not know the relationship status of somebody talking about God. But see, the pastors who have kids, the only reference they have to reference their relationship as God is through their experience with their wife. Me and my wife had this experience, and so learn about God through this. We went on vacation and had this experience. Oh, I had to teach my kid this or that, and then they try and throw a scripture in it. They don't know nothing about God. I'm sorry. Talk to drug addicts, convicts, prostitutes, OnlyFans, Satanists, people who come from broken homes. Because half of them have found love. But while they're talking about God, they're telling you how to overcome struggle. Something no good-looking married man with a house and kids who are doing well could ever fucking tell you. Don't listen to these. The Bible warns you about the Pharisees and Sadducees. And I'm not calling Christian men who have it all blasphemous. I'm just saying, if you could be, if you're talking to people who have actually fucking struggled, not people who God gave all types of sovereignty to, so you could tell us how to live righteously when we out here in the fucking trenches with it, and your wife, your kids, and your car, and your house, and your community, and your grandkids. Don't nobody have that shit on Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's. Listen to single Christians talk about how to deal with singleness and praise God. Listen to sinners talk about how Christ changed their life around. Stop listening to these people that God gave everything to. I'm not saying that they're not Christian. I'm just saying they can't help you. They can't help you in your relationship with Christ, because your relationship with Christ is real. Israel. Nation of Israel. Not no Gentile privileged white looking good and have these black niggas with their wife, and kids. looking good in the pulpit. These people can't help you in the last days. I'm sorry. They're not gonna be able to help themselves when shit gets really cracking. They gonna be figuring out how to protect their wife and their family, and they gonna really have to call on God for that. Us who have been out here alone, suffering oppression without wife and husband and family and kids and family, you know what I'm saying? You need to start sharing your journey and start talking about that for people who really need to learn from somebody who's overcome and struggling. These pastors with wife, family, and kids looking good as a man can't help you. And a lot of these women who are up here talking and they have a husband, don't listen to them unless they have gotten married within the last 2 years. Don't listen to no woman who's married, unless she recently got married and has a way to tell you how she overcome her singleness, her struggle, being a single mother, going through divorce, being a single Black woman until God gave her a husband, which is not going to be till you're 67, because that's how God feels about Black women and love. All right. But if she's a married woman, she better be recently married. Otherwise, don't listen to her either. God does not bless everyone with that. And if your relationship with God does not come with a husband, you don't dare listen to no woman whose relationship with God came with a gift wrapped husband. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Let God do what God gonna do, but stop letting other people play in your face about your relationship with God. These pastors are 1000% disconnected to the suffering of their audience. Otherwise, they would never rub their wife and kids in the face of people who are suffering. At least I'm mindful enough to know that everybody who's watching, this is why I say this may apply to younger girls. This may apply to Black women. This may apply to Black men. This may apply to the white society, because I'm not stupid enough to think that my stuff is public so everyone can get this information. Because I just Christ came for the nation of Israel. I'm here for the nation of Israel, but that doesn't mean a Gentile ain't gonna get this message. And these pastors don't give a fuck about people single, struggling, alone, homeless, when they up there preaching about what they have. How dare you? You should not know the relationship status or the social the social income tax status of the person talking about God. And you don't need to know the all the blessings when they're trying to teach you. Christianity is all about suffering. Did y'all not read the book? You are not better than your master. If they persecuted him, they will. They are persecuting you. So don't you dare listen to people who don't seem like they're being persecuted, okay? We're Christian. Persecution is the definition. Christ, crucifix, etymology, Christopher, Lucifer, Calcifer, fur. It all deals with flame. It's all about flame. That suffix fur deals with that flame. Lucifer, light bearer. Christopher, the cross bearer. Calcifer, the flame bearer. You bear. It's what you bear. Lucifer bore the light. That's why white supremacy exists in the satanic world, because he worshiped in his image, not Christ. Christians, we bear the cross. Now stop playing around with that. And I'm not saying men with families are not being tested by God. They are, but they need to be talking to men with families being tested by God in that way. Your struggling ass cannot relate. And more importantly, they can't relate to you and your struggle. Be careful, y'all. Listen to somebody who God sent to teach you and tell you. And yeah, by all means, if you on a marriage journey and you're single and listening to married couples because you want to learn how to be married, fine. But if you're a woman, listen to women. If you're a woman, don't listen to these men at all half the time. Listen to the women. God has so many women with so much wisdom. Please start listening to these women. And that goes back to what I was saying in the beginning, that women need to be teaching women. Your mother needs to be teaching you. If your mother loves you, she needs to be teaching you the things that she knows as a woman. And there's so many women out here going live teaching other women what they know. And most of them have struggled. That's why they have something to teach. It's not these women who are happily married with kids who have anything to teach. It's their daughters who are still single, who are teaching, who are going live teaching what their mothers and grandmothers taught them because they came from a good house and they see all this other fuckery out here because now they're in the mix of the world of heathens. But it's very rarely does a happily married woman who has never had to work because she had a good man and has a good family, very rarely does she have anything to teach anybody but her daughter about how to get a good man. And she's never going to struggle because she comes from a community where the men are good, and she's going to end up marrying the boy that she's been playing with since they was 8 years old. Because he's a good guy, because everyone's been in the community, and she's never going to have to worry about sleeping with someone's heathen son who's sexually deviant and hates women. She's never going to have to worry about that. She's gonna go from being a daughter to being a wife. Something that most black women would never experience, because we have to go through hell and every single mother's bastard fucking son until God decides to give us anything close to a man. You see, that's how God feels about black people. How he punishes us, his the nation of Israel. That's how God punishes black women. It's in the Bible. You don't have to take my word for it. Read Isaiah. So, at the end of the day, women need to listen to women when it comes to love and relationships, because there's thousands, millions of women going live on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and whatever platform they can, Facebook, warning other women about men, warning other women about divorce, warning other women about having a job. And not even all about men, warning other women about how to deal with other women, how to deal with jobs in the workplace, how to deal with a male-dominated society and to be successful, how to deal with certain industries. There's women going live teaching you how to fold napkins, teaching you proper etiquette in rich communities, going live teaching you English, Spanish, teaching you different languages, teaching you how to cook. Listen to women. If you're a woman, there's so many women sharing the wisdom and the power that they have. Stop listening to these good-looking men who God gave everything to. They have a whole different set of problems. If any. Sorry. If any. So, I'm not trying to take away these men with families, because they got way more responsibility than a lot of single women. If you're single and child free and you just got to worry about making sure you got a roof over your head, I'm not saying it's not a struggle, but at least you don't have the responsibility of taking care of a woman who's probably dependent on you. She's probably not independent because she's a wife. So these men, they have stuff. They got a whole woman who's dependent, and all the kids who are dependent, except maybe the son. So yeah, these men, they be having problems because they got a bunch of dependents. And if you're independent, you got different problems. You have to do everything by yourself. So it goes back to that thing of women listen to women, women teach women. And don't think you don't have something to say. Just like I had something to say, go live. And if you have something to say, if you have some wisdom to teach it, especially if no one else is brave enough to say it, and you see how society is, and you see people going along with things that is complete fuckery, and it's completely detrimental to their relationship with the Holy Ghost.
I love you too, ENT 777. Triple King. Earthly treasures are temporary and will rust and roll away. Our prize is everlasting, and I worship the Creator directly. I go straight to the source and can't do the Christian roles. Well, you need to, and I'm not, you can share this video, but like I usually say, listen, learn, like, subscribe. But you need to go, whatever resonated with you, ENT. If it's not you, you need to go talk to them dusty ass niggas that you know that this applies to, or these women who you know that this applies to. If it's not directly you, get some fire, get this fire, and go spread the word. It's time for war. I don't know how else to say this. It's time for war. It's time for war. So get y'all weapons out. We're talking spiritual. Have you seen the world? Have you seen the transvestite clowns from outer space teaching your children? The clowns, the makeup, the Jezebel spirit, the transvestites, the that's how fallen angels, the deformity, people deforming themselves sexually, all this. These are demons in your face. You guys got to stop acting scared. Y'all won't even talk about what's happening in your own community to the children right there who you see suffering at the hands of their demon possessed parents. Every parent who didn't get married is demon possessed. Every parent who had children and didn't give a fuck about enough about the children to get married to the person they stuck their dick and opened their legs for is demon possessed. That's a guarantee. That's a guarantee. You don't go defile your body and create another child who's gonna deal with more suffering, which is still part of your body, that child that you had. You don't keep defiling your body without Satan coming into it, because I know you guys learned. I know at some point you learned and your parents taught you about sex and not to have sex. Because half the people who listen to me, y'all are the warriors. Y'all was taught better. Y'all was raised right. Y'all been under spiritual attack because you're the chosen ones. Fucking act like it now. Y'all, it's time. War is here. Get your weapons, strap up, get spiritually ready. This is not a game no more. Y'all need to, this is not a game no more. You see where we're at. Artificial intelligence, cyborgs, transvestites, everywhere you look, there is a demon in walking live. This is demonic. Everywhere you look. Women going to the gym naked. Everywhere you go, every place is demonic possessed. It's in the air. Guys, act like it. That's all I'm asking you to do. Act like you know. And if you're a mage and if you're a witch, accept Christ if you haven't. Stop. Don't be confused about your ancestor, what an angel is, what an ancestor is, what the Holy Spirit is, who the Savior is, who the Creator is. Don't be confused about none of that. Know your heritage, know your ancestors, and know the angels over your heritage and your ancestors. Because familiar spirits are demon spirits that have been watching your family over your bloodline and putting the curses on you. That's familiar spirits. Get your ancestral guardians of your particular heritage. That's when you're getting into the ancient gods and goddesses of each particular culture. Those are tribal things that people have experienced angelic forces from nation to nation, and it all happened after the Tower of Babel. None of that necessarily was, I'm not saying it wasn't applicable, but the Tower of Babel and all that is when the languages got confounded, and when different cultures and different traditions started being honored, where the chaos of God really came out, and we have different languages, nations, creeds that can worship the creator and the source of it. But stop acting confused. Stop acting like you don't know that Jesus is the English version of Yahweh or Yahshua, and act like you don't know there's different languages. Don't start arguing over stupid bullshit, and act like you have some discernment, and get out here and use some spiritual warfare and speak with authority like I'm speaking. Don't be afraid to say the truth. Don't be afraid to say what you see. Remember that that movie They Live and Look Alive, or what, he got them glasses on. Stop acting like you're blind. Who the fuck are you appeasing when you acting like you are not spiritually powerful and can't see fuckery in your face? Who's paying your bills? Who's bribing you to act like you're asleep? Wake the fuck up, y'all. Stop acting scared to exercise demons. Call fuckery out. Stop being afraid, y'all. Show that you have a relationship with Christ. The only reason you scared is because you haven't repented of your sins. Get on your knees. Fuck getting on your knees. Stop whatever you're doing. Beg Christ to take away the sinful nature of whatever you're doing. Stop sleeping with someone else's husband or wife. Stop lusting after someone else's husband or wife. Stop abusing your children because you're jealous of them. Stop disrespecting your parents because you're demon possessed and you have too much freedom and too many video games and music and you think it's cute, and all the other teenagers are running around demon possessed and you think it's cute. Stop disrespecting your parents who got a roof over your head. Stop hanging out with people that don't like you. Stop hanging out with people you don't like. Go out by yourself. Make friends who are Christian. Stop being friends with people who are poor, stupid, immoral, gossip. You know, act like your life matters. You know, act like there is a judgment day. Stop acting like you don't know right from wrong, and stop ignoring when you see fuckery in your face. Stop co-signing it. Stop allowing it. Stop keeping company with it. Stop letting your friends get away with all this stuff. You guys would not be afraid to speak the truth, tell the truth, go live, and warn people about the truth if you weren't living in sin. Stop whatever you're doing, that you're living in sin, that you know is wrong. Then you'll be able to speak with authority. Then you won't argue with people when they're giving messages. You know? That's all I'm asking. I'm asking y'all to get to be for real. AI can be used for evil or good. It's all about choice. That's Holliston. The letter MXY is on both palms. We follow divine feminist cause God ain't male. Well, just like you said, it's all rhetoric. God is the creator. You know, language making God masculine is certainly not the worst thing. People honoring the feminine aspect of God is divine. It's all rhetoric. At the end of the day, has nothing to do with getting right with God, getting right with the Bible, not making excuses for fuckery, not using feminism to excuse behavior, not using feminism to excuse fortune telling, soothsaying, homosexuality, men being effeminate, women not being humble to a man's authority. You know, don't use the feminine aspect of God to excuse the fuckery, is all I ask. I don't think God is either feminine or masculine. I believe God is beyond those human species. Say hi. Peace, Sir J. That's beautiful. I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't matter what any of y'all believe God is, and I could care less. And I'm not trying to demean your comments. That's all good and well, but it's nothing to do with what I'm telling you. I'm warning you. Get right. Doesn't matter. You can believe what God is, but if you don't fear God, then you're not going to get right with God. And that's what I'm warning you. This is about having fear of God right now. Fear of God and fear of unrighteousness. and the consequences of it. And this is what people don't have. And that's why you guys don't see the things as demonic in front of you. You're afraid. You want God to do all the work. But you don't want to be chosen. Fine. Someone else can be chosen. And you can stay right here in Tartarus, Tartarian, bound on earth because you so busy saying what you think God is instead of worshiping, instead of demonstrating that you worship and have fear of God by exacting righteousness in your life. I'm not asking whether you think God is a man or a woman. So I love y'all, but but y'all know y'all trying to change the subject. Get right with God. That includes that little homosexuality that you guys have within you. Because hatred of women comes in so many forms. Get these demons out of y'all. And don't let no feminine aspect of God make you make an excuse for not getting rid of the demonic parasites in you that cause you to not do what you need to do as a man or a woman. Because one thing I know, you guys aren't God. And you are either male or female. So whether you are male or female, get right with what God says about that. This is not a game. It's not a discussion. This is spiritual warfare. All right? Peace and love.